So hey everyone, my name is Sahil. I'm the president of the XR Club, which is what I'll be presenting on today. So the XR Club is a student organization on campus with about 500 registered members. We're pretty much the student organization that's all about immersive technologies like augmented, virtual, and mixed reality, a lot of which you've been hearing about some of the applications today. Um, so So what are some of the goals of the XR Club and why does it exist? I'll start off by basically introducing the XR Club before moving on to some of the projects that we're working with. So in terms of the goals, the XR Club exists first to inspire students by providing access to cutting edge XR technology and experiences. We find that students often, they may not have had a whole lot of experience with XR before. Maybe they might have tried like Snapchat on their phones or Pokemon Go, but there's a lot more to XR than just some of those applications. And so just being able to inspire them with some of the cutting edge tools that we have in our lab, that's one of the main goals of the XR Club. And once we inspire them, um, there's the second part of our goals are to educate them so that, students can go on to learn how to create their own XR applications and bring their ideas to life, both within the club as well as outside of the club. So here are just a few ways of some of the things that we do and how we accomplish these things. On the first goal, we have of inspiring students. We have a variety of different events that we try to put together to allow them to experience what all that XR has to offer. We have in our lab, in pre-COVID times, we would have open lab nights and game nights where students can come in and try out all the equipment that we have. We brought our equipment out to student org fairs. We have a reality night at the end of every semester where students who are working on projects can showcase their projects and people all around the university can come in and just see what people are building. Hackathons as well. We have booths at often at Big Camp, at Technica, other hackathons at the University of Maryland, and we even put together our own hackathon called Reality Hacks. So then there's Maryland Day as well. We've had exhibits at Maryland Day where people can just come to campus and try out the equipment. And lastly, and this is something that's become even more relevant during the pandemic, is with social VR events. Right now, when we can't have these large gatherings of people to come and try out maybe VR experiences and whatnot, we could still have them join through applications on their computer or through their browser and have social VR events to meet up in a virtual environment. And here is actually our reality night from last semester. We did this in using Mozilla Hubs through the social VR platform. So another thing that the XR Club does here is with workshops and tutorials. And so we do this to basically help students learn how to build their own XR applications, even if they don't have much experience with it, or even if they don't have much experience with coding at all. We try to bring people from all different backgrounds and try to show them how to use the tools that they can then build upon to create their own applications, right? So we hold these workshops both at our own events and we hold them at hackathons as well, like I mentioned before. So yeah, it's one thing to obviously just learn the skills from the workshop, just follow along, but we're also thrilled that many of our students who are in our club go and apply these XR skills that they are learning beyond the workshops. Some of them just come to us with ideas for projects, and they're able to work on them as part of the club. We help them put together a team, have our mentors guide them through any challenges that they're facing. And so some of the projects that I'll be getting into very shortly, I'll be talking about those in a bit as well. But this is one way that some students have applied the skills within the club. Even outside of the club, some students have gone on and founded startups, right? They've gone on and use these skills at hackathons. Professors have sometimes reached out to our club with opportunities for students to conduct research in their lab, and they've been able to apply the skills from these workshops at those while conducting that research. Some of our mentors and others in the XR Club leadership, those students have been able to teach workshops as part of the club, as well as some of them have even taught courses. These are 4-credit courses. They're credit courses that students can actually take for credit, typically 1 or 2 credits, and that some students have gone on and developed their own curriculum from scratch and have been able to develop their own curriculum from scratch so that they can teach students the knowledge that they're learning in the XR Club and how to build their own XR apps. And then finally, some students have even gone on and pursued XR-related internships and job opportunities. I know some students have gone and interned at NIST and NASA working on XR stuff. I personally actually got my first internship, which was in the XR space, through a company that in the healthcare space that got this club with an opportunity for an AR HoloLens. So yeah, this is how, these are just some of the ways that, the club, people are able to apply their XR skills beyond just the workshops there. And with that, I'm going to go right into some of our ongoing projects that the XR Club is currently working on right now. So when thinking about the projects that we were going to pursue for this year, we decided that we wanted to pursue some projects that were going to be meaningful in various ways. And so we came up with a few themes that we wanted to help guide the projects that we are pursuing, both for this year as well as in the years to come. So the first of these themes are in having an impact on campus, right? Augmented reality and virtual reality are just growing in terms of their the capabilities and their access. The amount of people who have access to these technologies will only be growing over the next decade. And so how can we utilize these to have an impact on campus? So the project that we decided to work on for this year, it deals with Testudo. Testudo is a diamondback turtle. It's the mascot of the University of Maryland. And a cherished tradition for UMD students is to rub Testudo's nose as they walk by Testudo on the McKeldin Mall or at the various other Testudo statues across campus. Rubbing the nose is said to bring good luck for any assignments or exams that you're pursuing at the moment. And around finals times, a lot of students they sacrifice bizarre items at the Testudo statue. Everything from we've seen like fences, lampposts, toilets, to even as well as even more common items like just food or money or soda and whatnot. So they sacrifice these items for good luck on the finals. And this is it's a cherished campus tradition that a lot of UMD students have. But with the pandemic has kept many students away from campus. With a lot of the classes being online, some students have elected to stay at home. Sometimes, whether it's in Maryland or across the country or around the world, they may not even physically be on campus. And even for other students who are on campus, in the current climate, it may not be the safest idea for students to touch an object that, a lot of other students are touching very frequently at the same time. So we wanted to find a way to try to continue this tradition in a safe manner for all students of the University of Maryland. And so that's why we decided to develop Testudo 2 Go, an open source community-wide initiative within the XR Club where we use AR to bring Testudo right into students' homes. So this project we started last semester, we're still working on it, and we're hoping to publish it to the App Store and Google Play Store sometime this semester before finals time for the semester. So these are just some in development screenshots of the app that we've been working on here, where we have the Testudo statue that students can place. And some other features in the future that we're working on for this is to help allow students to be able to reach out and touch Testudo's nose using some of the new AR kit capabilities with pupil occlusion, as well as allow students to place virtual offerings onto Testudo. So that wraps up one of the new themes for this year, which is having an impact on campus. There's a lot of other ideas that we have in the future. Perhaps, bring certain things on campus to life, like, the Jim Henson statue or Testudo, maybe showcasing, what does different parts of UMD look like at different parts of the year, like the first look fair on McKeldin Mall, and maybe AR navigation around campus. Those might be some ideas of how we can continue this theme of having an impact on campus in the coming years. The next theme that I want to talk about is getting involved with competitions, because what we find is that a lot of times the competitions present challenges that allow us to make an impact, a meaningful impact in other ways, beyond what we may ordinarily be able to think of as students. It gives us kind of new perspectives of ways that we can apply XR to other fields. And so that is one of the things that we started doing this year. And we started doing that with the NASA Suits competition. So a quick background about the NASA Suits competition. It's part of the Artemis Student Challenges, which is part of the Artemis missions, which was started just a few years ago with the goals of sending humanity's return to the moon, to send the first woman and the next man to the moon by 2024, and to establish a sustainable presence on the moon by the end of this decade. And kind of use that as a launching point, whatever they learn from that as a launching point towards going to Mars in the following decade. So the NASA is designing, as part of this, NASA is designing new spacesuits for this mission. And they're doing this, the original mission to the moon, was a long time ago. It was like back in the 1960s and 70s, right? Computing, so the technology has advanced a lot since then, and that's technology's physical technology of the aspects of the suit itself, just increasing the mobility in general, but also it's about being able to utilize computing. Basically, most of the modern computing industry has risen right after that time period. And one of the things in the new spacesuits is NASA is looking to include a visual informatics display on the space helmet, and they're seeking the help of student teams to generate ideas on what that AR interface might look like. So that's the competition that we're participating in. And so our idea is to use the power of artificial intelligence and combine it with the power of augmented reality to help astronauts on the moon, right? Because these technologies can reduce the cognitive load of astronauts, basically help them make automated decisions, right? And augment some information that can additionally help them make decisions in new hands-free ways. So our idea is Artemis. We call it the Augmented Reality Trusty Extraterrestrial Mission-Ready Intelligence Sidekick. It's basically an AI assistant for astronauts. And with Artemis being the name of the mission itself, we're bringing the mission to life. So these are some of the tasks that were given as part of the challenge and that Artemis will be able to do. So one, if you think of tasks that might be relevant to astronauts on the moon, they might want to navigate. They would want to navigate to different areas of the moon, and having a guide, this AI assistant, kind of guide them through the navigation on the moon. So that would be one of the tasks here. We also have EVA, system state. So that's basically about all of the data, the telemetry data that they're getting from the suit itself. For example, the vitals, being able to track and monitor the vitals, and also alert the astronaut, when they're running low on certain items, like they're running low on oxygen, they need to return back to their lander, and various things like that. If there's error or an anomaly in one of the machines on the suit that is helping to regulate something like the fan, it would also help notify them of what they should do, as well as and so forth. And finally, assign sampling, right? Astronauts, while they're on the moon, they might need to take samples of the geology of the lunar surface, right? And they have these various tools, but rather than remembering all of the points of how to use these tools, you could have this AI assistant be able to show you how to use these tools, right? And allow you to maybe scan these the samples that they're gathering in order to automatically pick up properties and take notes on what they're gathering. So we're currently working towards building this application, and we should be ready for testing in just a few weeks. So if anyone's interested in testing out an application like this, we're planning to do virtual testing, as well as if the guidelines permit us to, we might do some in-person testing as well. So we'll have mechanisms for both. But if you're interested in helping provide feedback, definitely get in touch with us afterwards, and we'll allow you to test out our application. So that kind of wraps up some of the new themes for this year here. I know we're running short on time here, so I've just listed out here some ways that you could get involved. If you're a student, you can join our club. You could volunteer to test some of our projects and help provide feedback for either the Testudo application or the NASA Suits application. If you're a professor or someone in the industry, you might want to host a tech talk showcasing how you use or build with XR. Maybe you'd want to sponsor a hackathon to engage with students as they build projects. If you come across any opportunities that might help students, definitely send them our way, and we can connect students to your opportunities. And we're always open to any new opportunities. So any ideas you have, we'd love to hear them. So thank you for taking the time to listen to this, and thank you, Sammy and Dr. Eastman, for putting this wonderful event together. If anyone wants to get in contact with us, we have